And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Atlanta Falcons episode. So today we'll be talking about the Atlanta Falcons 7-on-7 team.
Oh.
Yeah, fearsome Falcons. And as far as housekeeping goes, there's only 4 of us here today. Drew could not make it, but Drew's hoping to make it next week, so I'll take him at his word, at least for now. He'll probably be late, but whatever. But anyway, that being said, I think that's all the housekeeping I do have. So let's get started. Wade, who is your Falcons quarterback?
I went with old solid Matt Ryan.
I did too.
I did as well, and so did Drew.
Well, that's 5.
Oh, we have Drew's list, by the way.
Part of me, I think Matt Ryan is the choice. But Falcon fans do have an obsession with Michael Vick.
They do.
Michael Vick is beloved by Falcon fans in Atlanta, and he's their most beloved football athlete. But when it comes to throwing the football, I think Matt Ryan is clearly the answer.
Yeah.
And he won an MVP in Atlanta, which is big. He took him to a Super Bowl. Should have won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And he's got some prolific passing numbers for his career. He only spent 1 year away from Atlanta. He had 1 year in Indianapolis, but for his entire career, he threw for over 62,000 yards and 381 touchdowns. So yeah, he's a, like I said, MVP, made a first-team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler. I thought he was the obvious guy for their quarterback.
Isn't he currently top 10 all time in yards?
I bet so. With 62,000, he's got to be, I'd say.
I would think.
His touchdowns might be close with 380. I bet he's close. Maybe he is top 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, that was unanimous, right?
Indeed.
All right, Uncle Doug, do you have a skill position player for us?
I do. Julio Jones.
I also have Julio.
Oh, yes.
So does Drew.
I do too.
I was going to say, and unanimous. It took us there a minute. I was
Got
like,
everybody holding their breath here. Like, what the fuck
So-
are they doing?
Old Julio, 7 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, all 2010 team. He spent 10 of his years in Atlanta with a couple years other places, but in Atlanta he had 848 receptions for 12,896 yards, averaging 15.2 yards per catch, had 60 TDs. So there for a while, Julio was just, 6'3", 220. He was a beast.
He was the man there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
he very much so was. All right. Well, Ray, can you keep our unanimous streak going?
Well, I'm hoping. I went with Roddy White.
I also have Roddy White.
I do as well.
Same here.
And
All
so
right.
does Drew.
Look at that. 5 for 5. I'm going to ruin it. I know it now. That's too much pressure.
All right. He spent all 11 years in ATL. 4-time Pro Bowler, 1 All-Pro. Let's see. He was targeted 1,377 times. Caught 808 balls with 10,863 yards, 13.4 yards per reception, with 63 touchdowns. I don't know if he had a nickname, but I'd call him Mr. Solid.
Take it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I don't really know who to go with to try and keep our streak alive, so I just don't know that I'm going to get it. So, but I went with a repeat guy that we just talked about, actually, and I put Warwick Dunn on this team.
Oh, I didn't go with a running back, actually, on this one.
Yeah, I thought about Warwick Dunn, but I didn't put him on.
Well,
So solo, really.
we know how that goes. So.
Well, we talked about him pretty heavily. It was just last week, right? We did Tampa.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago,
Was
yeah.
it 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago?
One of those two.
Yeah.
Last week was the Saints. The week before.
That was the week before. Okay, my bad. Either way, he played 6 years in Atlanta. He was a very good pass catcher. He didn't catch as many balls in Atlanta as he did in Tampa, but he still had a nice career there. And I wanted a guy out of the backfield to catch the ball, so work done it was.
Okay.
And by the way, Matt Ryan is 8th all time in passing yards and 9th all time in touchdowns.
There you go.
All right.
Well, Wade, you got a
Yes.
player for us?
I have Tony Gonzalez.
I do as
I
well.
do too.
So does Drew.
Well, damn it! I should have gone with Gonzalez. Apparently,
Oh, yes.
I didn't think so. I didn't think everybody would have him because
Well-
everybody thinks of him as a Chief.
Well, he is thought of as a chief, but he is the all-time leader in receptions and yards for a tight end, and second all-time on tight ends for touchdowns. So I mean, he's a monster. A tight end with over 1,300 receptions and 15,000 yards is nuts. He's he's top 10 just all time and among all receivers in receptions, and at one point in time he was in yards too. So just an absolute monster, and he was in Atlanta at the end of his career, but was still extremely productive. I think he was there for like 5 years. In those 5 years, went for 860 yards, 650, 875, 930, 860. Between 6 and 8 touchdowns every year. It's just still elite production from a tight end, even at that point in his career. The lowest amount of receptions he caught in a season there was 70, and got all the way up to 93 one year. He was Matt Ryan's kind of go-to safety blanket and over-the-middle kind of guy when he started his career. It's the greatest receiving tight end of all time, probably, and he's a great guy to have on any team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Uncle Doug, do you have somebody else for us?
I do. Andre Rison.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Bad Moon Rison.
Yeah. Very talented, but a head case.
Yeah. Drew had him as well.
So it's 4.
I said I had him.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's 5. All right.
We're keeping it going. Okay, 5 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. The majority of those came while he was in Atlanta. He did have a Pro Bowl in Kansas City later. Played for 12 years. 5 of those were in Atlanta, and those were his most productive years. Almost close to half his catches came there. He had 423 receptions for 5,600 yards in Atlanta with 13.3 yards per catch, 56 touchdowns. He's probably better known for some of his off-the-field stuff. But
Some of his antics and stuff. Yeah.
Or like
he
his
was solid.
or his girlfriend burned his mansion down.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she in
Lisa Lopez,
Left
Eye Lopez.
Lopez.
Yeah.
He was a great receiver, though.
He was.
Kind of like last week when we were talking about how the 90s had a bunch of, just really good receivers that, a lot of these guys didn't quite make the Hall of Fame, but they were really, really good. He's one of them.
Yeah.
We were talking about, Keyshawn and McCardell and Rod Smith and Jimmy Smith. He's right there with him. All these guys had, over 10,000 career receiving yards, and they were just really, really good. And with Atlanta, he was kind of great for that time period.
He was.
I mean, in 5 years, you get over 5,600 yards and 56 touchdowns. And you're averaging over 1,000 yards a season, over 10 touchdowns a season. I mean, you're a bad boy.
Well, Ray, I think we're back to you, buddy.
All right. So I do believe I have 2 running backs on my list that
Oh,
are left. I'll go with the first one. Gerald Riggs.
oh really?
Yeah. From 82 to 91, or 82 to 88, he played for the Falcons. 6,631 yards, 48 touchdowns, 4.2 yards a carry. He's also a 3-time Pro Bowler and a Super Bowl champ, which I do believe he got in Washington. But I thought I'd go with an older running back, something not too obvious, something solid. And I don't know about his receiving stuff because I can never read that on.
In his years in Atlanta, he caught 186 balls for 1,384 yards.
So yeah, nothing crazy. Just a nice solid running back.
Right, my internet is on the struggle bus, man. I can't pull shit up.
Do you have it on the extended?
I don't ever mess with it, man. I just walk in here and pull my. No, it does not.
That is why.
Bumtastic.
Don't worry, folks. It's technical difficulties by user error. We will get that fixed.
I don't know user error, man. I just do the same shit I always do. My last guy is Algae Crumpler.
I also have Algae Crumpler. I thought you'd be my support with Algae Crumpler. We always find a way to bring him up sometime.
But I can't pull up his stats, so if anybody else has stats on old Algae, that'd be cool.
I got you. Well, he is a 4-time Pro Bowler, all with Atlanta. Spent 7 years with Atlanta. In those 7 years, he had 316 receptions and 4,200 yards and 35 touchdowns. You have to kind of remember he had like a three-year stretch where he was a pretty good to elite tight end in the NFL. Like I said, he made 4 Pro Bowls. He probably would have had a lot better stats, but his quarterback was Michael Vick, who was a running quarterback who threw for like 2,800 yards a year. But Algae Crumpler was a very, very good over-the-middle tight end and could even get down the field in his younger years and make some pretty big plays. And he was if I remember correctly, very hard to bring down. He was a very big boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, I can look. Hang on. Yeah, he was 6'2", 275. So that's a load. He was just a really good tight end in the early 2000s, and I just thought having him and Tony Gonzalez could be a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
And I'm out of guys now. That's my 7.
I have one more, I think. Oh, it's my turn, isn't it?
It is your turn, yes.
Well, for my last one, there's a couple different guys I kind of thought about I could have went with. I kind of thought it would actually be kind of funny to go with Kyle Pitts, and just because Kyle Pitts and have 3 tight ends, but I didn't do it. But I actually went with Drake London, the current guy.
Yep, I'm with you.
Again, a guy that has had below-average quarterback play almost the entire time he's been there, and in 3 years has over 3,000 yards. So, I mean, he's averaging over 1,000 yards per season. This past season, he had 100 receptions for 1,271 yards and 9 touchdowns. Then a couple seasons before that, with really, really bad quarterback play, he had just a little under 1,000 yards. But I think that was with like Taylor Heineke and whoever else was there besides Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, it was another one of those journeyman quarterbacks. Can't remember who it was.
It was Heineke and then someone and then Cousins and Penix this past year. But this was like Cousins' worst year in like a decade. But yeah. So, I mean, I thought a guy who just caught 100 balls for 1,270 yards and 9 touchdowns, nice option.
Yep, I thought so too.
And that is my 7.
All right, I've got that's 6 for me. I got one more.
Well, what you got, Uncle Doug?
All right, Terrence Mathis.
I looked at him.
He played for Atlanta from 94 through 2001. He had 8 years there. 573 catches for 7,349 yards. He had his peak year was 111 catches for 1,300 yards. He had 57 TDs, 1 Pro Bowl, and that came while he was in Atlanta. So
He had some really nice years in there.
he did.
I'll be honest. For some reason, I could not remember this guy. And he's played in the era, 90s into the early 2000s, and I just couldn't remember who this guy was. I don't know. I was kind of shocked I couldn't think of who he was. But very productive.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, you got anybody left, buddy?
You got one left. He's a running back. His nickname is the Burner. Michael Turner.
Oh, well, Michael Turner was a good running back.
He was a good running back.
He put-
Atlanta's had a fair amount of good running backs over the years.
yeah.
Right now, Bijan just had a monster year. So. Yep.
And they had was it Freeman? They have a Freeman running back.
Yeah.
that was good
Oh,
for a while.
yeah.
He had a good couple years before his career went down. But yeah. Thank you. Didn't he have like one huge breakout year? For that Freeman guy, maybe?
he did.
He had like one, like he kind of broke out of nowhere, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Don't worry, Alex. I will help you here in a second.
Thanks.
Tech support is on the way. Turner played 5 seasons in Atlanta, 6,081 yards with 60 touchdowns. I don't know about his receiving, since I have to go work on tech support here in a minute.
I can tell you his receiving numbers
Yeah.
if you want. In 5 years, he had 457 yards and 1 touchdown.
Okay. And he was a 2-time Pro Bowler and 1 All-Pro. He had a couple breakout seasons, one 1,699 yards, 1,371, and 1,340.
So is that everybody now? We're all good?
Are you good?
How about Drew?
Drew's got a couple left. If
Oh,
you
does he
just
really?
Throw them out.
Yeah, sure.
He had Calvin Ridley
I
Oh, Calvin Ridley.
There
Yeah.
we go.
and Bijan Robinson that we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
That were his last two.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
put Robinson down.
So
I do love Bijan.
yeah, he's good.
Bijan,
So that's 13.
monster.
Oh, we ended up with 13. We started off so strong with a bunch of 5.
We did.
But yeah, so I guess we can start with our mix and match in here. I'm gonna go ahead and make my first move here. I'm gonna come off of Dunn, and I'm gonna go to London.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
cool.
So Dunn is gone, and Drake London now has 3. So I didn't put anybody in, but I helped out.
Yeah. Guess it's 3.
Well, and what do we do with Drew's two?
I'd say they're just out unless somebody wants to go to him real quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
And then so then from as far as this goes, now 4 will be in, right? Because we can't move Drew's votes for him.
That's true.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
so yeah.
So if we all 4 agree on something, they're in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew.
Yeah, but we have
Julio should be in. We just can't see him, right?
Right. Matt Ryan, Julio, Andre Rison, Roddy White, and Tony Gonzalez. We got 5 in.
Oh, so that's actually a pretty good start. Okay. That's not bad.
yeah.
All right, who am I moving?
Okay, so Warwick Dunn is gone,
Okay.
and that vote's going to London.
Roger.
And then you can delete Ridley and Robinson.
I should have thought more about Bijan.
Okay.
All right. And then that was all we did so far, right? But Ryan, Julio, Roddy White, Gonzalez, and Rison are all in.
5.
So we only need 2 guys.
Right.
So if you go to London with someone, Ray, he'll be in because there's no Drew.
Right.
So we just technically need 4 votes in this room to get some
For
of
the
those
last
guys
2.
in. And then Crumpler's got 2, and then we got ones.
Because Doug's got Mathis, right?
Right.
And I got Turner and Riggs.
I will say this, Ray. Michael Turner was a absolute fucking monster of a running back, but he didn't really catch the ball. That would be his one downfall. He
Okay.
averaged less than 100 yards receiving per season and had 1 receiving touchdown.
Who was this quarterback? Was it Ryan that was with
Yeah,
him?
he had Ryan, wasn't
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
I'll just go ahead and go to London. We'll secure that up there.
Okay, so London's in.
I think Turner had some like monster rushing seasons for a couple of years.
You might be
He had
right.
he had one big. Well, he
I think
had
he, like,
three
led the
pretty
league
good
one
ones.
year.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. He was a beast running the football.
He had a 1,700-yard season.
Yeah.
Then he had a season where he got hurt, and then he came back and ran for almost 1,400 after that, and then 1,300 after that.
Did he lead the league in that 1,700-yard season?
In yards, no.
Oh.
He ran for 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns, but didn't lead the league in either.
Wow. I had in my head that he led the league in 1 year, but
He came in second in the MVP voting.
oh,
It was 2008. Would that have been like an AP year?
that's a Peyton Manning year.
Oh, yeah, Peyton Manning won the MVP.
Peyton won in 08
Oh,
and 09.
Adrian Peterson had 60 more yards than him.
Oh,
Ah.
yeah. I knew he was a monster for a few years.
Well, I'll come off Mathis and go to Crumpler.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet.
Okay.
I
Well,
kinda
we'll go
forgot
ahead.
about Algie.
We'll go ahead and secure that up then.
All right, there we go.
Shaboom.
All right. Well, that finishes up our offense. So our offense is Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Roddy White, Drake London, Tony Gonzalez, Andre Rison, Algie Crumpler. Did I forget anybody?
No, you know,
Okay.
I think it's a pretty good offense.
That is
actually.
pretty good offense.
That's pretty. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like top 5, but in the upper half, I'd say.
Yeah, they'll definitely hold their own
Yeah, that's pretty good.
offensively at least. Yeah. All right. Well, it's time to switch over to defense. Wade, who is your first Falcons defender?
Well, I was hoping everyone's on the same page. We're going with the same teams here with this guy, but Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
Okay. I didn't know which
Oh.
franchises we were rolling with.
Drew had him as well.
I didn't know if we were going to try and put him on the 49ers.
I put him on here.
Okay. Well, I've missed some of these episodes. Did you all put him on the Cowboys?
I can't remember because I have Dion at 8 because I wasn't sure about it.
I'm pretty positive we put him on the Cowboys.
So that means he cannot be on the 49ers,
If we do this, yeah.
which I think he was only a 49er for a year or two, but he won Defensive Player of the Year as a Niner. And
He's only 49er for 1 year, Washington for 1 year, Baltimore for 2 years, and he was in Dallas and Atlanta East for 5.
Yeah, we put him on Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But I think his 49er year was the year he got them over the hump to the Super Bowl, him and Steve Young, and he won Defensive Player of the Year that year.
He did win Defensive Player of the Year and came in third in MVP.
And I'm pretty sure that's when they won the Super Bowl because he was like a mercenary there for a while. The Cowboys used him to get a couple Super Bowls, and the 49ers stole him, and then they won the Super Bowl.
I think it's reverse.
Or maybe it was the other way around.
I think he won one with San Francisco and then went and won 2 with the Cowboys.
Yeah, because those were the teams that always met to go to the Super Bowl
Right.
in the NFC at that time because the Cowboys were juggernauts and most were the 49ers. And, yeah. But if we're cool with Cowboys and Falcons, I have Deion.
Okay. So everybody got Dion in?
Yep.
Okay.
The only thing that
Good
intrigued me was if we went 49ers, we could put Deion and Ronnie Lott on the same team.
Yeah, that's true.
And then on offense, they'd have Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens. It'd be like the two best combos in the whole 7-on-7 on both sides of the ball.
That'd be pretty
But-
tough.
Now I got to figure out who to take off my other 7.
All right. Well,
Oh,
Uncle Doug,
crap.
do you have a defensive player for us?
I do. Desmond Trufant.
I have Trufant as well.
Yep, same here.
I do not.
Drew does as well.
Another unanimous. Look at us starting off good again.
No, I don't have him.
Oh, I thought you said
Oh,
you did.
Ray doesn't have Ray.
I know.
Old Desmond was pretty good.
It was.
Played for Atlanta from 2013 through 2019. 7 years of his career were there. He had, 13 interceptions for Atlanta. 3 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, couple fumbles returned for touchdowns, 5 sacks, 329 combo tackles and 270 solo, 9 tackle for loss. And his 1 Pro Bowl came while he was in Atlanta.
I think he's one of those guys I remember from Madden.
Yeah.
Remember him just always being like the Falcons' best defensive back on Madden for a while. Yeah.
Yep, he was tough for a while.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Ray, who do you got, buddy?
Well, I went with linebacker. His nickname is Mr. Falcon. He played in the 60s all the way to 76. It is Tommy Nobis.
I didn't have him.
No, didn't have him.
He's
No, me
got
neither.
5 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro, Hall of Fame All-60s team, 1966 Rookie of the Year. He played all 11 years in Atlanta. 132 out of 133 games started, 12 interceptions, 2 for touchdown, 13 fumble recoveries, 9 sacks. Old guy, solid old guy.
He was a good linebacker. I remember him.
Mr. Falcon. I mean, couldn't pass that one up.
But I did.
I said I couldn't pass it.
All right. Well, I think we're around to me. I went with Ray Buchanan.
Me as well.
Yep, me as well, and so did Drew.
Former
Well,
Colt.
I don't have Buchanan either.
Ray Buchanan played in my lifetime, which was nice. Big play Ray. He played 7 years in Atlanta.
They used to call me that too.
He had 30 interceptions in those 7 years, which is a really nice total, really.
He finished his career with a really high total.
Yeah, 47 in his whole career.
That's a pretty nice career.
That is.
Yeah.
We put him on the Colts, I think.
Did we?
I think so.
Oh. If you just told me Ray Buchanan would have been maxed out, I'd have been like, okay. But he made an All-Pro.
Yes, we did.
Okay, cool. I mean, he only played one other year somewhere else, so I think we're good. But
Yeah.
he made an All-Pro and a Pro Bowl. He had some pretty impressive seasons in here of 8 and 7 on 6 on interceptions. He 1 year returned 3 for touchdowns. Yeah, and in those 7 years, he also had 421 tackles out of the corner position, out of a little 5'9", 180-pound defensive back. So, yeah, Ray Buchanan.
Nice.
Well, Wade, I think we're back around to you, buddy.
Well, I have another guy who I grew up watching. Was a very good player throughout the 2000s, D'Angelo Hall.
I also have D'Angelo.
I do too. So does Drew.
No.
He's a 3-time Pro
Oh,
Bowler
my
throughout
goodness.
his career. Made 2 of those 3 in Atlanta. Was just known as one of the better defensive backs in the league throughout a large part of the 2000s. If I remember correctly, he was known as the fastest man in the NFL for a period of time.
I think you're right. And by the way, I think we just maxed him out too, because I'm pretty sure we put him in Washington.
Okay.
May have.
Not sure if I was on that episode either. I don't remember. It says here that he has the all-time record for fumble return yards.
He did, yeah. He's the all-time leader.
So yeah, has the most fumble return yardage of all time. Didn't know that. Ended his career with 43 interceptions, with a very nice number. Was a machine in Atlanta. Started off with 2, then 6 interceptions, then 4, then 5. Was just really good. One of the best athletic corners in the league for a long time, and his athleticism allowed him to play, from 04 all the way to 2017. So just a really, really good Pro Bowl corner throughout the 2000s.
Absolutely. All right, Uncle Doug, I think we're to you.
Yep. Well, I got another corner for us. Brent Grimes.
I also have Grimes.
Me too.
Okay,
And
I got
we-
that one.
And I'm pretty positive we put him somewhere else too, didn't we?
We threw him on Tampa because we were struggling. At the
We're
very
just
end.
maxing out a whole bunch of corners this episode.
Wait, did we
Drew
put
had
on
him
Miami?
too.
Drew had him too.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, did we?
Did we put him on Miami, guys?
Oh fuck.
Oh, I don't know.
We may have already maxed Grimes out.
Because he's really good. So we might have thrown. And Miami
Where? What's he play?
Miami and Tampa.
'Cause Miami, he made 3 straight Pro Bowls in Miami.
Yeah, he's in Tampa.
We shouldn't have put him on Tampa, damn it. Atlanta's the first part of his whole career.
Didn't he win a Super Bowl in Tampa though?
I think that was after that.
We did throw him on the Dolphins as
Ah.
well.
So this is like a deletion. Like we've got to get rid of him, even though he's unanimous.
Oh,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Oh shit, this is gonna mess things up, boys.
You gotta do some on the job research here, boys.
Well, I'm glad I had an extra player ready to go.
Well, Uncle Doe, do you want to drop one down your list and tell us your next guy real quick, and we can.
Yeah, let me see. Bobby Butler.
I don't have no Bobby Butler.
Well, I wasn't planning on putting him on.
Yeah, right. I might now.
Three. Hang on, I gotta start counting now.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to have a bunch of extra guys, so if y'all want to jump on board on the extra ones, I'll give you a free pick on that.
Yeah, but you got to go somewhere too, because you had Grimes as well.
Yeah, but I had an extra guy because I had Dion as an extra
Oh
guy.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
You said that. Yeah, my bad.
Okay, well, Butler played for the Falcons his whole career. Played there for 12 years. Had 27 interceptions. 1 for a touchdown. 9 fumble recoveries. Don't have tackle numbers. Sorry. No Pro Bowls. Just came out of Florida State. I thought you'd like that, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 81 to 92. I say originally I didn't have him, but I do now.
Maybe we'll come to you in a little bit after some thinking.
All right. Well, I think we're to you now, Ray.
Okay. I went with another older guy, another linebacker. His nickname is the Hammer. Jesse Tuggle.
I remember Jesse Tuggle.
5-time Pro Bowler. Played all 14 years in Atlanta. 6 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, 10 forced fumbles, 10 fumble recoveries, 5 fumble recovery for touchdown, 21 sacks, 1,805 combo tackles. So I don't know how well he'll do in this scenario, but seemed pretty legit for the 60s.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, I did not go with a linebacker, but I did not go with a corner for the first time, and I put old Jesse Bates out there.
Same here.
Yep, so did Drew, and I'm going to add him as my replacement.
Jesse Bates is a monster.
Yeah, he is. Did we put Bates in Cincinnati?
If I had to guess, I'd say yes, because they lack a lot of defensive back talent. So I would say he's probably maxed out.
I'm glad Doug keeps records because we'd be in a shithole.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I would guess he's on.
No.
We didn't put him on?
Not on the Bengals.
Wow.
Anthony Parrish, Hall, Fulcher, Casanova, Breeden,
Might not have
and
been better.
Pac-Man Jones.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow.
All right. Well, Jesse Bates has only played 2 years in Atlanta. But in those 2 years, he's had 10 interceptions, returned 2 for touchdown. He's had 21 pass deflections, 7 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, a sack, 234 tackles. So he's
insane.
averaging 5 interceptions, 10.5 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and
17 tackles
a year in his couple years in
He's
Atlanta.
averaging over 100 tackles a year for his career. That's
Yeah.
a safety. He was the leader of that Bengals defense that went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
he was the best player. Him and Hendrickson were the two best players on that defense, and he's the one that made all the big plays.
Yep. He had a
Yeah.
big interception in the was the AFC Championship game that year.
Probably to get Mahomes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's the fact that he has one Pro Bowl is a crime.
Yeah, I think so.
He has been one of the best safeties in the league for a half decade.
Who's
if not
making
longer.
Pro Bowls? He has 2 All Pros, by the way.
He has
who-
2 All Pros and 1 Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Who's making Pro Bowls over Bates?
Well, when he was in the AFC, you got Derwin James probably stole a couple.
Yeah, Derwin James. Yeah.
Trying to think of AFC teams.
Well, like Justin Simmons.
Yeah, Justin Simmons got a few there. He was at one of the top dogs for a while. Did that
Oh, what about the Steelers?
Minka Fitzpatrick?
Minka Fitzpatrick.
He
yeah.
is also elite.
Yeah.
Elite. Well, now in the past couple years, the Ravens have Kyle Hamilton,
Yeah, that's true.
who's also a fucking monster. But now he's been in the NFC the past 2 years, so I don't know who's in the NFC that would be taken. Well, taken last year he was amazing. So I don't know. Over 100 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, fumble recovery, 4 interceptions, a sack.
Who is the top safety in that? I didn't even think of the top safety in the division or in the conference. I mean,
The NFC. A couple years ago, there was a guy, McKinney, from, I know he's been back and forth with the Packers and the Giants. He had a real big interception year here recently. Maybe he got on. Does Detroit have a really good safety? A young one?
They do.
Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Harrison Smith is too old. He hasn't made some in a while, I don't think.
what about Antoine Winfield Jr.?
A couple years
there
ago,
you
he
go.
had like an
Yeah.
All-Pro year. I think he got hurt this past year, but I think 2 years ago he did have an insane year. It's hard to say without sitting here looking teams up, but well, the 2 years ago, the 49ers, that guy that just signed with the Broncos, had a huge year.
Yeah, the Samoan guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to sidetrack us there, but I think we're around to you, Wade.
Oh, okay. Let me get off Jesse Bates here. All right. I also have another current guy for them. Their current best corner, AJ Terrell.
I have him as well.
He's a very, very good corner. One known as one of the more shutdown guys. He's become so shut down over the past couple of years, they literally don't throw the ball to his side of the field anymore. So yeah, but the Falcons are kind of a flawed team, so you can pick on them other places, so they just avoid him at all costs. I believe, was he one of the young guys that just got paid?
I think he did just get paid. Yeah.
He got a pretty huge contract, I believe. I could be wrong on this, but I think he just got one of the bigger contracts in defensive back history. And yeah, just one of the premier young shutdown corners in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's just when you have somebody like him and Bates both as DBs, and you just can't put the rest of the defense around them. Like,
Yeah. Well, you're just, yeah, pretty much. I don't know what side if Bates is strong or free, but I don't know if they play on the same side or not. But if they play on the same side, you're literally just not going to that side of the field. So you're going to pick on that number 2 corner all day long. And I think they have some weak linebackers, so the tight ends and running backs can kind of get them.
well, Uncle Doug, you got somebody for us?
I do. Scott Case.
Yep. I got him as well.
Yep. He played almost his whole career in Atlanta, from 84 to 94 in Atlanta, and he finished his last year in Dallas in 95. I believe he won a Super Bowl then.
Oh, nice.
Because he has a Super Bowl, and you know he didn't win it in Atlanta. So he also has a Pro Bowl, but he did get that in Atlanta. He had 30 interceptions over those 11 years in Atlanta, including 1988, where he had 10 and led the league. Had 7 fumble recoveries, 976 combo tackles. Does not have. Oh, it has 7.5 sacks. Does not have tackles for loss. But he had 1 Pro Bowl, and he was second team All Pro that year as well. Played corner and safety, back and forth. He played some right corner and some free safety. In a couple years, they just have him listed as DB. So, pretty versatile.
There you go.
All right. Well, Ray, you got another guy for us?
I do. He's a current guy. And I must have been in a linebacker kind of mood that day because this is another linebacker. One-time Pro Bowler. He spent 6 years in Atlanta. His name is Deion Jones.
I remember Deion.
11 interceptions, 5 for touchdown, 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 8.5 sacks with 652 combo tackles. And his nickname is Debo.
All righty then. And is he alone on that, guys?
I
Yeah,
believe so.
I'm done.
I have one left.
I have one left as well.
By the way, AJ Terrell signed a 4-year, $81 million contract with $60 million guaranteed.
Okay.
And he's another guy who has an All-Pro but no Pro Bowls.
And I have one more guy left, and it's my turn. So I went with Roland Lawrence.
Ooh,
I thought about him.
Well, then I'll make that my last pick because I have him too.
Fair enough. He is the team's all-time leader in interceptions with 39. He did that in 8 years. He played his whole 8-year career in Atlanta from 73 to 80. And we don't have tackle numbers to talk about. So, yeah. But I thought, I was running out of guys I recognized. He was the all-time leader in interceptions. And, how we like to have corners to guard all these receivers we throw out there. So, I went with him.
My last one, he's my kind of replacement for Brent Grimes. I just put Asante Samuel on there. He finished his career in Atlanta.
Can we put Asante Samuel on there?
Well, is he on 2 teams already?
With the Eagles and Patriots?
Oh, well, fuck me. I don't know then.
You could come join me with Roland.
Looking that way. Looking that way, buddy.
I got my 8th pick on here if you want to know that one.
On the Eagles.
He's on the Patriots.
Yeah.
He's on the Patriots. Let's see if I recognize anybody else here, guys.
My honorable mention Wade is Keanu Neal if you know that one.
I do know Keanu Neal. I mean,
He was safety?
he was a hell of a
Yeah.
safety, but he was a box safety.
Yeah, there's a guy I kind of recognize. Probably a Madden recognition here. Hang on. He's on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nah. I'll just go with Lawrence. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna draw this out.
So is that everybody? We got
Yeah.
more. Everybody's done. So we end up with how many guys?
12 spots.
12 spots. And how many are in?
One.
One. Dion.
Well, if Drew's not here, then
It depends
is
on who
Drew
has
on
them.
Drew's
How many-
already on?
is there any-
Trufant and Buchanan?
Does he not have Bates?
Yes, he has Bates as well.
Okay.
So none of the 4s are in. Damn.
That sucks.
Yeah.
What about
Trufant, Buchanan, Hall, and Bates?
Damn. All right. Who doesn't have Trufant? Ray?
No, I do.
Oh, you do now. Okay. Nobis is gone.
All right. Okay, your font's in.
Let me clean up my mess here. Tuggle's gone. Put him on Buchanan.
Big play Ray's now in. There you go.
That's right. Get rid of the other Dion. Now go to Hall.
Okay, D'Angelo Hall's in.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 is in. Now we have Bobby Butler with 1, Bates at 4, Terrell 2, Case 2, and Lawrence at 3.
Well, do you have Lawrence, Ray?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll come
Uncle
off
Doug.
Bobby Butler and go to Lawrence. Oh, sorry. Come off Butler and go to Lawrence.
Lawrence is in.
Look at that. He was my 1.
See? If you believe in
I don't know if this
magic.
one counts because we're just running out of guys. We're literally just picking all these guys that already got disqualified.
So it's Case and Terrell, huh?
Yeah.
Remind me.
1,
About
2,
Case.
3, 4.
Corner and
5, 6.
free safety. Gotta look him back up. Played from 84
95.
through 95. His last year was in Dallas when he won a Super Bowl.
Is he like the 27 interception guy or something?
He had 30 interceptions.
30. Okay.
30 in 11 years, including 10 in 88 when he led the league. 1 Pro Bowl, and that was it. And he was second team All Pro that year.
I think Terrell also has 1 second team All Pro. You were the Terrell guy with me right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Drew didn't have either one.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be on arms either way we go.
Oh, Bates is in, right?
Is he now?
I don't know. Who didn't have Bates to begin with?
I didn't. But I have Case. I don't know. I probably fucked
Yeah,
up the
I don't
thing.
think he is in.
Oh, okay. All right. I
10,
wasn't sure.
15, 20.
But then
I think I fucked the math up.
yeah, I think something's messed up because if he came off Case and went to Bates,
Yeah.
then
There we
where
go.
would his other vote be?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't know.
Because then we'd be talking about 3 votes for Terrell and Case.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So Bates must be in. Then
Yeah,
we
Bates-
must
we'll
have
say
just
Bates
messed it
is
up.
in.
Yeah.
All right. Bates is in. So we got 6 in. We're down to just Terrell and Case.
Yeah.
2, 3,
Well, you want me to send Drew a
5.
quick note?
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
he didn't have either one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good decision.
Trailer case. Which leaves us with Dion, Trufant, D'Angelo Hall, Ray Buchanan, Jesse Bates, and Roland Lawrence all already in.
Not bad. While we're waiting on Drusiv, are we gonna move on to our MVP?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah. What's the MVP?
Matt Ryan.
Well, that's the only one, huh?
I think so. It's the only
As far
one.
as I can think of, yeah.
I don't know of any other.
I think he had a pretty nice year that year.
He did indeed. But I also don't remember what anybody else did.
That's fair.
In 2016, the year Matt Ryan won the MVP for the Atlanta Falcons, he won in blowout fashion vote-wise. But he threw for 4,950 yards, so 50 yards away from 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions.
Damn, that's phenomenal.
That was pretty nice.
Yeah. In second place was none other than everybody's favorite Tom Brady, who threw for 3,500 yards and 28 touchdowns and 2 picks. Not nearly the season, although
No.
2 picks for a season is impressive.
Yeah.
But he only played in 12 games.
Yeah. Did he get the suspended that year? huh?
I think that was suspension year for Deflategate. Yeah.
Well, that's what that bitch gets.
And then Derek Carr threw for 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns, and caught 32 balls for 363 yards and a touchdown.
Pretty nice.
Rodgers came in 5th, only received 2 votes, but he's probably the second best quarterback. He threw for 4,400 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 7 picks.
Oh.
and then ran for almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers. I don't know. Rodgers, that the rushing might kind of. I mean, Ryan has him by yards, definitely. What about some of the other stuff? What about like QB rating and completion percentage and stuff like that between the two quarterbacks?
I have to go searching for those. They don't put those on here.
Oh, okay.
If you want to pull up 2016 Aaron Rodgers, I'll pull up Matt Ryan.
Fair enough. Rodgers is usually pretty efficient. I will say that, but I think this is Matt Ryan's like career year, with because he had the 49ers head coach is his offensive coordinator.
Shanahan, yeah.
Well, I pulled up Aaron Rodgers and it's all just a bunch of drama about where he's going to sign this year.
I will say this: Matt Ryan led the league in QB rating and QBR that year.
Ooh, well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
He also led the league in yards per attempt, yards per completion. He led the league in TD percentage.
Yeah, Rodgers led the league in touchdowns.
He did. He had 2 more touchdowns.
What was Ryan's QB rating? You say is that one of the things you say?
It's rate. It's one's rate and one's QBR. Which one are we asking about?
We'll start off with rating.
Okay, 117.1.
Okay, Rodgers was 104, so he beats Rodgers quite a bit in that.
Yeah,
QBR, Rodgers was 72.
79.6.
Okay.
Oh, so
Then completion percentage, I think I went past it.
Completion percentage. He's at 70.
He's at 65.
okay.
So, yeah. So Ryan was more efficient and had more yards.
Yeah.
Rodgers led the league in touchdowns, but has the rushing stats.
Yeah, he's like 200 more rushing yards. Yeah.
Matt Ryan ran for 200 yards.
No, it's like he
He
ran
ran
for
for
100,
100
120 or
something.
something.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's just funny. 'Cause Matt Ryan's just not fast.
No, he's not.
Okay, that's interesting. Ezekiel Elliott had a pretty nice year too. The right back.
I just don't understand why Rodgers came in 5th.
Yeah, I know.
The Packers did go 10-6, which is good, but not great.
And the Falcons went 11-5.
I think the Cowboys won 11 or 12 games that year for Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, they went 13-3.
Yeah.
And Dak is 6.
Because they burst onto the scene those first couple years.
Was this Dak and Zeke's rookie year?
They did have a phenomenal first year. It might have been.
Yeah. Yep. Dak won rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Which I think is horseshit, by the way. It should have been Zeke.
Yeah.
It should have been. That's who the offense ran through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree.
And Matt Ryan was Offensive Player of the Year as well.
Yes, he was.
When you first just read off the ordinary stats, I kind of lean Rodgers. But when he threw in all the other efficiency stuff and all that other stuff, Matt Ryan has a pretty good case. He led the
Yeah.
league in a lot of different stuff.
Yeah. My vote's for Ryan to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's probably the way to go.
And I have word from Drew.
Okay.
And Drew says Scott Case.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that rounds out MVP talk and our 7-on-7 squad. So we appreciate you tuning in for this Atlanta Falcons episode. And we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our Carolina Panthers episode. That'll be a doozy.
It's going to be a dumpster fire.
And we would also appreciate it if you could rate, comment, review, or email us at
Sports the NEMO Way at gmail.com.
And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.